Good morning. Glad to be here with you. My wife Maureen's in back, and it's funny, she and I love to hike. We love being outside, being out in nature, and hiking seems to be a bit of a solitary sport, but in reality, one of the great things we love about it is the camaraderie that you get when you're on the hiking trail and you run into other hikers. Hikers tend to be pretty generous in spirit, they're encouraging, and if you actually do kind of have an issue, hikers tend to be very great to help out. And so we love that. And I think back to 9 years ago, a hike that we did that means so much to us. We were out in Colorado hiking one of these 14,000 foot peaks that they call 14ers. And it was just such a great experience, these rugged mountains. And we had the neat encounter of hiking most of the way, really all of the way, with this Canada couple and their 10-year-old boy. And so we're kind of trading places on the trail with this family, and we just talked the whole way. And we were all having a lot of fun. Until about 1,000 feet away from the summit, and there's no air up there, they tell you later on. And the Canada boy was struggling. He was hurting, we were all hurting, but he kind of started having little fits with his parents, and his parents are trying to encourage him like parents do, but it wasn't going so well. So Maureen and I kind of doubled down on our talking to him and encouraging and kind of joking with him, and I think I even asked him to carry me halfway up the hill. And that wasn't going to work very well, but we all finally made it. That's the great thing. We all kind of rejoiced and celebrated and had a great time. And the dad came up to Maureen and me and said, "Thanks so much for what you did. Thanks for helping our son get up that mountain." We're like, "We didn't do anything. We just talked to him. And frankly, he was distracting us from our own pain. We wanted to go down the mountain too." And that's the part about being on the trail. When we're on the trail together, even when you're helping, you're being served yourself. You're benefiting along the way. I actually think there's a biblical aspect to this, a biblical validation of this. You think in the Gospels about the story of the paralytic. So he's paralyzed, and he hears that Jesus is in town. Jesus, the miracle maker, the deliverer from all kinds of horrible things. Where does this guy want to be? He wants to be with Jesus. Now, our God's such an amazing God. He doesn't need us. He doesn't need us to do anything. He knows our thoughts. He knows everything about us. But what's he always do in these moments? He brings us alongside. He wants us participating in these things. So an important part of that story is what? The paralytic needed some help to get to Jesus. And so his crew, his buddies, pick him up. They hoist him, bring him to the house where Jesus is, lift him up high, lower him through the roof, put him at the feet of Jesus. And now from like Paul Harvey used to say, the rest of the story, he was healed. He was rejuvenated, reborn. But those guys on the trail with him were massively important. God keeps calling us back to the trail, and he's got us on a trail right now with our Move campaign. And it's going to be an amazing adventure, but it's going to be a hill to climb. So we're going to need to be together on this. And I know Maureen and I are excited to be part of it. And we're excited to join along with you and all of our brothers and sisters at the High Street in this great campaign. But I think back, this is a big deal. But think of what this church has done in the past. Now I go up to High Street and I look at that building and I think, what in the world were they thinking when they built that? That thing's a castle, it's a fortress. And when they did it, imagine the challenge. Do you think they were a little bit nervous when they decided to build that thing? Put those stained glass windows in? It's just an amazing, beautiful sanctuary. It's a lighthouse in our community. But it took boldness. And they weren't only doing that for themselves. You don't build a fortress like that for yourself. You do it for who's coming down the trail later. And that was us. And then so many of the people sitting up in High Street right now, some of you even here, took that next bold step in New McKendree's chapter, its walk on the trail, and built this campus. And again, you could think, what in the world are we thinking about? Another campus in the town, out here on this acreage. And I'm telling you, New McHenry's name is just being known more and more throughout the community, the region, the country, and the world because what flows out of both of these great facilities. Our family, I can tell you, personally benefited from this boldness. 9 years ago, when we lost our son Alex, tragically, I don't even think we were members of this church. We were attending, but you opened this place up for us. And it was a painful moment, but it was a moment also of great hope because we feel great that Alex he's in heaven with Jesus. And I mean, there's nothing else as a parent you hope for in a tragic moment like that. That's our gift. That's a blessing. And we were on the trail, but we were broken at that moment. We couldn't move our feet. And the family here at New McHenry came up alongside us, picked us up, and walked with us. And it's just amazing. Through that time, we had so many letters, cards of encouragement, not for days, weeks, and months, for years. And just at High Street a while ago, I met one of the great ladies I'd never met who had been writing us for 9 years. I'm telling you, it's just an amazing, amazing thing. That's what we do at New McHenry. We're on the trail together. We're going up a mountain right now, but it's a mountain that we can climb. And wherever New McHenry's name is mentioned, people know that we love God, we love God's people, and we serve God's people. Thanks for being on the trail with me. Thanks for letting us be along the way and being with us and carrying us along the way. Thank you.